Hey guys, happy Friday. So glad you came back this week. This week we're going to start something new for us. I have taken a real shine to semi-precious stones. I love them. They give such heft and substance to a jewelry design. And I know a lot of you love them too. And I would say probably a number of you are far more sophisticated or knowledgeable than I am. I am no expert. But what I'm doing is I'm going to invite you all to come on this journey with me. And we'll learn as we go along. I have found some information that's fabulous. I'm not entirely clueless about the stuff, being honest. I'm not entirely clueless. We've carried semi-precious stones off and on at visaboutiques.com for a long time. But now we're going to really amplify it because they just give so much value to your work. So I want to explain to you a little bit about the stones that you're seeing here and why I chose them. But before I do that, I got to ask you a favor, please. Would you please subscribe to our channel if you've not already done it? It would really be good if you like what I do, because YouTube will notify you and then you won't miss anything. You're going to know when I'm going to be on here, and you can come and watch. Sometimes I'm live, you know. This time no, but sometimes I'm live, so you might want to be there. Also, if you wouldn't mind, give me a like if you like the video. And also, a kind comment means the world to me. If you would take time to just write a comment under the description on the video, it means so much to me for the effort, excuse me, that we put forth to make these videos. If you could just say, even just say hi, we'd love that. So subscribe, like, and comment. Okay, so now let's get to it. Semi-precious stones. Okay, there are really in the world, from what I'm reading so far, you can correct me kindly if you wish, there are only just a very few things that are really what they call precious stones, like diamonds, rubies, emeralds, sapphires, pearls, and there's one more, I think opals. Some people consider opals to be precious, okay? The rest of it's like semi-precious stones. They all come out of the earth. Some are more valuable than others. Some may have different grades along the way. So some in the same, like for example, you have a piece of labradorite, and maybe one is a lot more money than another. Well, it could have to do with your vendor, but it can also do with the grade of the stone, okay? So you've got that. And then you might say, well, these are rocks, really, aren't they? And no, they're not. They're not. Few things are rocks. But I've just started to read about this, so it's kind of cool. What I've read is that things like granite is a rock. Unakite or unakite, I don't know exactly how you say it. A lot of people love that, and they use it in semi-precious stone jewelry, but it's really not a semi-precious stone. It's a rock. So there's a lot of exploration that could be done there. And if you have some information on that and you want to add it, put it in the comments kindly, please. Also, they're just different, all kinds of families of stones in semi-precious. Like you have your Jaspers, you have your agates, you have your Feldspar family, and so forth. And those three are the ones that I'm concentrating the most on. When I buy stones for visaboutiques.com, first of all, I got to have a good vendor, and I do. I have several good vendors I'm happy with, and I will have even more as time goes on, because I will continue to source. And that's when it gets interesting. This is more you source, better it gets. I have really good vendors that I know what they tell me is how it is. And if I have questions, they'll tell me too. So yeah, that's very important. That's why I want to learn to be able to tell you what you need to know. And if I don't, I'll ask one of them, or I'll look it up. Okay? And I also have a recommendation for you there too. But mostly I'm doing, excuse me, the agates, Jaspers, lots of Jaspers, and Feldspar family. Okay, Feldspar family. That might be a new word to you, but it's most of the stones in the Feldspar family are what they call chatoyant. And that means they have a little fire from inside that every so often in a bead you'll see it pop out and glow. Usually the better the grade of the chatoyant stone, the more you see that. And I'm going to show you a really good example. This is labradorite. This is a tumbled stone, so it's not to be set in a mount. But do you see it flashing? Do you see that flash? I'm going to turn it slowly. And when it flashes, do you see this cross hatching in here? And the light is like yellow coming out, blue, indigo, green. And then if you turn it to the side, other side, you'll get more. See that? You see it flashing? I hope so. Is it coming out? However you can see it flashing. Yeah, and there's a little bit more there, glowing. Love, love, love that. So you'll see that in labradorite most. Now, some of the stones are beads. I have a lot of beads mostly in labradorite. Some don't show any of that. So that's okay too, because they have their own unique good qualities, and I love it. I still love that stone. It's one of my favorites. But boy, when you see that little light poking out, I was like, oh geez, it just makes my day. I love to see that. I love to see that. But other stones where you might find that I will be carrying or maybe have up already. I have a ton of stuff that needs to go up. Like all this stuff that's right here, none of this is up yet. So anyway, but I think this is this one. But anyways, another one that I will have on the site and I've been using is Amazonite, and this is Amazonite. These are the faceted stones, and I love it. You see how they twinkle? I love the faceted stones when I can get them instead of just plain old round ones, because, okay, so if I'm not seeing any glow coming out of here from chatoyant C, I'm at least getting that sparkle off the facet. And that means something to me. I don't have to have perfect stones. I don't have to have perfect beads. I don't have to have high grade. Most of us are newer to this. We don't want to pay huge money for this. We want to pay realistic prices. So I love it when I can get a faceted bead. So I'm looking for that a lot as I go along. Okay, so this would be one. Another one that would be chatoyant in the Feldspar family would be Moonstone, and this is Moonstone. It's very, very milky, but you can see this has kind of got, maybe, I don't know if I want to call it banding, but a little bit. Banding usually you see in an agate from what I'm learning, but this is not an agate, it's Feldspar. But yeah, there's a little bit of difference to it, but last night when I had it in the bag, I saw a few little glowing beads, and now today as I turn it, I'm not seeing it, so maybe it was the light it was in. So the high-end or higher-end Moonstone is where you're going to see more of it. And this is not high-end. Like, it's got some darker inclusions in it. That would be one thing that they would say is not high-end, in a Moonstone. The clearer it is, and then seeing that chatoyancy is what makes it the big money stuff. But this is fun because you can say it's Moonstone, and it is Moonstone. It's lovely. It's got a little bit of an opalescence to it that I really, really like. And I love it with labradorite, and I love it with Amazonite. And they're in the same family. They're both Feldspar type stones. My information also said that opals can have chatoyancy, and the really good ones do. How they have that little, kind of a crackle effect down in them, and there's all kinds of colors coming out of it, The more colors, the better the opal. And also learned today when I was reading that opals are 30% water, and in time they'll dry out, so they can age and not good. So, and they're also they're really super delicate. So they kind of have more of a shelf life, which I found that to be really, really interesting. If you want an heirloom type piece, maybe opal might not be a good one to choose because it has that issue. You can have it repaired with resin and so forth to kind of build it up and keep it going. But there is that going on with opal. Now, I don't have any real opal. I do have some opalite, and I don't think I have any here. Let's see if I have some in my bag. No, I don't. But what I have, opalite is kind of like a brand name almost. and it's glass. It's just glass. It's simulated. Well, simulated. We'll get into simulated. It's more than simulated. It's just glass. It's a glass stone, but it's beautiful anyway. So whatever. But anyway, that's the feldspar type. Also, let's see what I wrote down about the jaspers. Well, you know, a lot of you guys know about the aquaterra jasper and the ripple jasper and the sediment jasper and the assembled jaspers and all that kind of thing. There's all kinds of different ones. I love jasper because it shows a lot of detail usually. For example, my two favorite jaspers are these two. This is a jasper. And I had another one here. Of course, now I set it someplace. I think, yeah, there's another one in here, so I'll just put it. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. These are my two favorites. And any of you guys know which ones these are? I bet you do. I bet a lot of you do. Okay. This one's picture jasper or landscape jasper. And this one is leopard skin jasper. Some people absolutely hate leopard skin. Why? I don't know. Maybe you got a dull stone. I don't know. Because here's the deal. When you have a bunch of it, no two of them are going to be the same. Like for example, if you buy from me a piece of our silverware silver-plated brass in a certain piece that you like, you've got it then. Unless you use a lot of them, you've got that one. When you buy leopard skin jasper, it's like you never know what you're going to get. There's such a range.
You can do it!
What there is. And the same thing with the picture jasper. Some of it, there's a whole lot going on, and some of it's kind of just blah. So what we're doing at BesaBoutiques.com, we are calling out the ones that are like blah. We want to give you the ones that have something going on. So these are jaspers. And jasper is an aggregate. I'm reading from the book basically here. It is micro... I can't read my writing. It's quartz type or cryptocrystalline chalcedony. There's a word. And it's usually reds, yellows, and brown. I got to look up more stuff on that for you. But there are lots of jaspers. And I'll just show you the jaspers I have. Then I want to show you the differences that there could be, like just in a bag full of leopard skin jasper cabs. Okay, so here... in this bag, these are some of the we're making a beautiful new banner for our website. You know, we have a new website. If you haven't been over to see it, you got to come see. Javi just put the gingerbread brass banner up today, which is a new line for us. You want to come see that. But anyway, so to show you now, for example, this is an agate. This is Mexican crazy lace. This is an amethyst. Here are the jaspers. This is a jasper. This is a jasper. That's a jasper. This is a jasper. This is a jasper. These are jaspers. Okay. Here's another one. These are jaspers. So, now I want to tell you a little bit, but you can see the difference. These are both picture jaspers. This one's more chocolatey. Is that in the frame? I'm not sure. More chocolatey, like for example, you could make a pair of earrings out of these. That'd be cool. There's a little bit of like aqua blue in there too, which I like. This picture jasper, so is this. So you can see the difference. I might get a bunch in one day and they all look like this or more like this, and other times they'll look like this. This one's cool. It's got a lot of banding on it. Okay, so there's that. And then here's leopard skin. This is another one. You can see it's different from this. Still got a lot of texture. Still got a lot going on. Very handsome stone. Very, very handsome. Here's a big picture jasper. That's a 40 by 30. Okay, so these are all jaspers here. This is jasper too, but this is assembled jasper. Okay, this is jasper and bronzite that are assembled. Kind of reminds me like when we take a cab mold and we put stuff down in resin and move it around to get it to look like what we want. There's definitely some resin in this cab because it's assembled. That's how they put it together. It's still cold to the touch, and that's one of the ways you tell a stone you know, kind of a basic way. Is it cold to the touch? It still is, but not as cold, and that's because it's got resin in it. That doesn't mean it's not a good stone. Doesn't mean it's no good. It's just not the same as, say, the leopard skin or the picture, which this is how it came out of the ground. And then they made the cab and formed it and made it even prettier. This is bronzite and howlite turquoise, what they call Chinese turquoise. Okay, now you could even say there's chatoyancy, except Jasper's not chatoyant, so I don't know what that is down in there glittering around. It might be a little foil they stuck in there too. So this is an assembled stone. It's put together to look like this, and it's got resin in it too. But and it's still cold, and that's because it's got a lot of stone in there too. That's why. But when I picked this up as compared to this one's colder than this. So I just thought a little interesting thing. Now what did that do? Did it scratch? Is this easily scratched? I don't know. I'm going to have to check on it. Some stones scratch real easy and some don't. But anyway, there's that little thing. And I want to show you this. I'm going to put these back in the sack and show you. I have a whole bag here full of, I'll leave this howlite out. I have a whole bag here full, oh, that's Ripple Jasper too, Purple Impression Jasper, I should say. I have a whole bag full of leopard skin Jasper. I just want you to see the variance in one little shipment of leopard skin Jasper, what it could be like. It's a lot. A lot. So, I think I went and I put my special ones away too. We'll work on that later. We'll worry about that later. Okay, this one's mine. Okay, so this is all leopard skin Jasper. Now I'm just going to line these up next to each other so you can see. They're all 40 by 30s. Leopard skin Jasper. Okay. And you can see it's got the graining and the detail. These are the backs. It's got the graining and the detail on the backs too. Alright. So anyway, so this one is kind of yellow. This is dark. That one's kind of orange. This one's lighter. That one's a little dark. I mean, you can see. I'm just going to start from this one's kind of gray. And it's got really delicate inclusions or whatever that is in there that make it do that. I don't know. See, I have a lot to learn. And it's more gray. Also, this one's more red. These are more red. That's more red. That's this one. That one's more. Well, I was going to say it looks like that fossil stone stuff that you see, which I don't have any now. I hope I can get some. It costs a little bit more. But can you see the range? And just this one bag of leopard skin Jasper, there's a bunch of colors in there. All kinds of colors in there. So, anyway, you know, they're not going to be all the same. So when you order a stone from me, capstone from me, or some other person, whoever you get it from, you might buy one time and it looks like this. And you might buy one another time and it looks like this. And you might buy one another time and it looks like this. Now, with us, if you're real fussy about what color yours will be or something, you can make a suggestion to us. I can't guarantee you, though. I just can't. We might not even have it, you know. But what I am doing is I am culling out the ones that aren't real interesting, you know, if they don't have much going on. Like I've had stones in the past where I'm like, there's no matrixing, there's no streaking, there's no, and some stones you do want that. You want it to be as clear as possible. But most of these semi-precious, you want something going on like that because that's the whole deal for having it, you know. It's the whole reason to have it. I'm looking for my one stone I put it away and I don't know where it's now. Anyway, okay. So this is what leopard skin Jasper looks like in our new black that just came in. Pretty cool, right? Let me go over here. And I distressed the edge of this. Okay, so that really, brings it out even a lot more. Now here, this isn't distressed, I don't think. Yeah, it is. Okay. This is our new our gingerbread brass that we have. It's so wonderful. We have had it before, but this time I talked to the plater and I said, hey, could we possibly, here it is, I think. Could we possibly get this a little darker and less orange and coppery? I want it to be deeper. I want it to look like the stuff that's been stored in a basement like for, 30, 40 years. And he's like, okay, yeah, do that. So this is what came in this time, and I'm loving it. It's great. And I did distress a little bit. So here is some leopard skin Jasper. Now this, what I think is cool about this, it looks so different than this one, doesn't it? It looks so different. These little spots almost look like flowers to me. I don't know about you, but I mean, that's just the difference in it. And it looks good in either or, very good. Now, I don't have a big one here in silver, but it's like, it's okay, in the silver. A lot of people love that silver look. They would like to set their stuff in sterling, which you can certainly do with this. We don't carry sterling. We're mostly plating over brass because it's more reasonable, and that's what a lot of people can afford. But if you really want to go for the gold there, not really the gold, the silver, you want to get silver, or you want, say you have the silversmithing art down and you know how to make a bezel and make your own mount, good for you. That's great. You could make your own. It would be absolutely gorgeous, and of course that would add to the value of it, but you'd have a lot more time in it too. So it's just, so many things to consider if you sell your work. If you don't sell it, then you just make it how you want it. You don't care. You'll pay more, whatever, the whole thing. I'm like that. But if you're making to sell it, you try to figure out what is it that my customer is going to want, and then try to stay within certain parameters to get them what they want, like price, color, value, quality, that sort of thing. So all things to think about. Okay, so now this is what I just want to show you this too. This is what this mount looks like in black if you don't distress it. Okay? And the way I distressed this is I just took a nail file, one of those great big black paddle files, which I think I brought over here, but I don't see it now. And I just took it and just, like I'm filing, just around it, and then come back and just saw it on a little bit in certain places. Not too much, because you don't want to raise too much.
This one?
What's that? Well, you could use this. This is kind of wore out, but this would work too. But I used the big black paddle file, like they use in a nail place, where you get your nails done. And I thought I brought one over here. I meant to. But anyway, it could look like this, or it could look like this. So however you want. And another thing you could do is you could add on little bits of color to this too, like maybe some patina, like maybe a deep turquoise color or something like that. I have to look this up. I can't quite remember what this is. Maybe This one's got a flaw. It's got a crack. So you're not going to get any from us that has that. I'll just take that out right now. Yeah, that's down in there. And you don't fill it over the surface. It's not cracked in the surface, but looking down in there, it just looks like a crack to me, and I'm not going to give that to somebody. This is some kind of quartz, banded.
Yeah, quartz.
But anyway, I can't remember the name of it. That's pretty too. But it could also look like this. Or it could look like this. See, it's just whatever vein they took it out of, wherever it is in the world. Like you might get certain stones, you might get it from Nova Scotia, but they might have it in Uruguay too, or they may have it in Africa or in Russia. Some of the stuff from Canada they also have in parts of Russia. So it could come, from anywhere, whatever. So you have that. Okay. So just to show you the difference in stones, we have listed, I think, 30 types of stone on our website. We don't have them all up yet, but we have about 30 types of stone, and I do hope to put things in each category and then fill it out a little bit. But we do have, for example, we have carnelian, we have hematite, we have different types of amethysts already. There's some goldstone on there, which, did you know goldstone and blue goldstone is not stone at all, it's glass. It's totally glass. It's from a lab experiment that went kind of hooey, and they had a happy accident. And so ever since then, the world has had goldstone and blue goldstone, and they love it. Turquoise dyed howlite. We will probably have a lot of that. We have some now, as a matter of fact. And this stone is turquoise dyed howlite. This is howlite. Started out looking like this. See, this is I love howlite. I love the white howlite. I think it's so clean and elegant. I love it in the silver. That's my special thing that I like. Okay, so there's this and this is dyed howlite. What this is this is simulated turquoise. Okay, and sometimes they'll use magnesite to make it. Sometimes they'll use howlite. Sometimes they'll use jade, depends. But howlite's a porous rock that takes color nicely. And also it's magnesite. And that's why you will see like the pumpkin beads that I have. We're low on now, but I have bunch more coming in. Those are all howlite, but they're colored, and they've got intense, beautiful color. Now, just because something is dyed and has color in it doesn't mean, oh, that's going to be a cheap, crappy stone. You know, the color's going to come out like a garment that's not color fast. No, not like that at all. No, it's enhanced, and does not mean it's a bad stone at all. What did I write down about that? A synthetic stone is cultured, synthetic, or lab created. They're not really what you call imitations. They have the same properties of the real deal. Now, when it comes to this, what they call synthetic turquoise, I don't know about that. You know, this is really kind of howlite, really. But, like, for example, cultured pearls. Are those real? They sure are. They just didn't come out of an oyster naturally. What they do is they open up the oyster and they put a little bit of grit in there because that annoys the oyster, and that's how pearls are formed. They start with a little piece of grit, and the oyster's body builds up this beautiful nacre, N-A-C-R-E, around it, and now it's a pearl. It comes out. That's naturally occurring. But if they take oysters, open them up, and put that in there, it's still naturally made, but it's not naturally occurring. They didn't just lift it out of the ocean or wherever they come from and say, okay, well, we got a pearl. No, they made that, okay? You hear of lab-created rubies and stuff. They're real rubies, but they didn't come out of the ground that way. They know how they're making, like make something in a test tube kind of. I don't know how to explain it to you except that they're created. They did not come out of the rock that way. It has similar hardness, density, and strength. Synthetics are made free of natural impurities unless they intentionally add them, like certain things will put some matrixing in it to make it look more like it's natural. Synthetic quartz type stones would be citrine, rose quartz, and amethyst. Of course, there's naturally occurring amethyst too, but a lot of it is a simulated type thing. And as much as possible, insofar as I know, I will try to state that when I put my stones up. So far, I've had the girls do it, and I don't think I gave them that direction, so I'm going to have to go back through and do it. If you ever want to know, please ask me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm there. You can ask through the website. You can ask me through my email. You can call us if you want. If you want to call me and talk about stones, I'd be happy to talk to you. If I don't have too much going on, I can always give you 10 minutes, so long as I'm not piled with work. But, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll try. Do my best. So these are the things I'm finding out so far, and the more I find out, the more I realize it's going to take me a whole long time to know a whole lot. But that's the journey, right? Let's go on this journey together. I'll show you what I've been reading. Gemstones of the World. Maybe you have this. I think I've got one in a box packed away somewhere, and I just bought this one because I couldn't find it. Gemstones of the World is by... She's trying to get me to see where to put it. Back. That's good. Okay. That's why Abby's here. Make sure I'm in the shot. Okay, it's by Walter Schumann. And this is the newly revised 5th edition, but it is a cool book. It shows you all the cuts. Yeah, it's like $28, hardbound. But it goes stone by stone, telling you. Now, there's a whole section on like types of deposits and mines and inclusions you'll find in things and refraction and all that. You know, that gets into the real technical stuff. What I want to know is, like, when I go stone by stone, what can I find out? Well, this is a page about quartz. Smoky quartz, regular quartz, rock crystal. I like rock crystal. And different kunzite, that's one you hear of a lot. Zircons, some people say it's like, what do they call it? The fake diamonds. Oh, it escaped me. You know what I'm talking about. CZ, that's it. I think garnets, topazes. It says the name topaz was not applied consistently or specifically. It can be a lot of different things. I really want to read this because there's a lot to know about topazes. Spinels, price of beryl, precious beryl, that goes into emeralds, I think. Aquamarine, a lot of people love aquamarine. Aquamarine is not always expensive either. And it's like I tell you, there are the higher end ones and then there are the lower end ones, you know. And so far I am going for texture and handsomeness over money because I'm learning, and you may be too, and it's okay. You know, we're looking for something that looks good, feels good, not cracked, not chipped, not blah. You know, we're looking for good stuff. But anyway, I wanted to recommend this book to you. There's all about opals on here. Petrified wood. I love petrified wood. Different things. Agates. Chrysoprase, which is beautiful. Chalcedony. I love chalcedony. Chalcedony, I used to always think chalcedony would be a real expensive stone, but it's not necessarily. And it can be a lot of things. So there's a lot to read about. Anyway, before I just go on and on and on, there's so much I could say. So let's say it over time. Let's go on this journey. How about next week I come back with a little bit more and then try to do a little project to go with it, to show you how things fit in, or maybe something, hey, here's what I made with this week, to give you an idea. And, you know, every week or two we'll do some more. And we'll go, maybe I'll read up on chalcedony and tell you more about it. I'll read up on those topaz and tell you what I found out. And then, of course, you can comment. And maybe once in a bit we'll do these live. So if somebody wants to get in there and say something while we're on and have a little bit more of a discussion, we'll do that too. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful. If you're a beginner, you probably did. And we're going to see where the road takes us from here. So happy Friday. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, subscribe, please. Like, please. Leave me a comment. Say hi. It means a lot to me. I'm not kidding you. Please. I would love it if you did. And also, please, if you would patronize www.bisouboutiques.com. We've been on the internet since 1997. No kidding. This website that Javi just made, I should say, is the 7th one we've had since 1997. So it's been progressive for us, and I think we're getting a lot better at it. I think it's a pretty good website. I think Javi did a beautiful job. So you come over and see it. www.bisouboutiques.com. If you're new to us, use code NEW2BISOU. All caps, no spaces. And when you have $35 in the cart, it'll take $5 off if you're new to us and give you a little spiff there. Okay, so that'll be fun too. All right, thanks guys. Any questions, just leave them for me. Come over and join us at the Bisou Boutiques Creative Group at Facebook. That's where we show what we're doing with our Bisou Boutique stuff. But we talk about business and all kinds of stuff. We'll be talking a lot about stones. We've had some big discussions about stones. So come and join us there. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.